It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi there, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Kathryn Frady, hello.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Before you head out of town.
Yeah, before I leave you again.
Because that's happening. It's happening. You're off to Gallivant now.
Yeah, back to Baton Rouge for a little bit.
Oh, is that where? Okay, I thought, I'll say where she's going because I remember.
And then it'll be wrong.
And I thought, Baton Rouge in August?
Baton Rouge in August, yeah. So I'm sure once the hurricanes start running in, I'll be back pretty quickly.
Well, I'm delighted that you're here. Actually, I've already booked the next guest host.
Oh, fantastic.
For the next episode, which I guess would be Thursday, I suppose. It's the man who designed the Frank and Friends show logo, Jody Collins.
Fantastic.
And the reason is he invited me to be a guest on Ramblin Man podcast, which is his show. And he says to me, this is all via writing, so I'm trying to imagine him saying this, but he says, now, I want you to come be on my podcast, but please understand, I don't have a time limit. I'm like,
you don't tell Frank Murphy that you don't have a time limit, because that means you're going to be talking all day long.
Because he sees that we always do 30 to 45 minute episodes.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's too short. I'm like, I know, yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it.
4 hours later.
Yes, he doesn't know that when I was on the Quitters Never Give Up podcast.
It was like 3 hours, wasn't it?
And they wrote to Bean, Frank Beepin' Murphy was on for 3 beepin' hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got, 3 episodes of an hour, or you got 6 episodes. You just do part 1, part 2, part 3,
They did it into 2. They split it into 2 90-minute episodes, but oh my goodness.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think I'd probably split it up into like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why you should subscribe to us on an audio podcast app or on YouTube and smash that button for notifications. So you hear about all of the new episodes. You get told when one drops. I'm trying to keep pretty well to the schedule, of Tuesday, Thursday. So twice a week for podcasts and twice a month for Seymour Smokies episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do get us past 1,000 subscribers. We got,
a little over 700, right?
299 to go.
Yeah.
Something like that, however we got to get there. And the way you can do that is by, of course, subscribing yourself, but by spreading the word and inviting your friends and say, hey, this podcast.
This is really fun.
Yeah, you.
I had a friend who had COVID about a month ago and was like looking for podcasts. Because I found that when people are at home and they're not allowed to go anywhere and they kind of get bored, especially right now when COVID's not, for a lot of people, as difficult.
It's so weird because I'm spending more time at home alone now than I did
before.
During the height of the pandemic. I was out every day during the pandemic.
Well, no one was out. It was a little safer then.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I
reality.
had a job that I was considered quote unquote essential, so I had to go to work every day, and it was actually nice because it gave me something to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But people look for podcasts all the time, so whenever you see a friend who's looking for a podcast, say Frank and Friends Show.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did. I shared it. I was like, if you think I'm silly in rehearsal, go watch this.
Well, I've got the AirPods now, my birthday gift. I think it was because of you.
Those are fun.
Do you have them?
I do.
I think my wife gave them to me so that I could keep up with the Fradys, is what it was. So I got them for my birthday.
Nice.
And I didn't look up to see how much they cost because first thing she says is, I know I spent too much, but I want you to have these because I think you'll be useful to you. So now I am terrified of losing them.
Well, I was terrified of losing them when I first got them, but I found that I've never lost them.
Okay.
And this is coming from somebody who...
All right. Well, I have found that they have popped out of my ears while I'm working outside.
Well, that's dangerous.
Yes. So when I'm working on the pool, I'm especially terrified that they're going to pop right into the water. Yeah. So far, they have only popped into the dirt when I'm bending over and doing gardening, or actually even some pool maintenance when I'm bending over to turn the valves and clean the pool.
Yeah. And
one of them pops out. I was like, what's happening inside my head? Are my ears that tiny?
Are you getting them?
Do I have tiny ears?
I mean, no, they seem like normal size ears.
I'm trying to stretch them out.
Are you getting them all the way in?
Oh, I mean, I could go get them and I could.
We'll have to look at that later. Yeah.
Maybe that's because are you supposed to moisturize them or something? Do they slide in a little bit?
No, but they should kind of hang. I mean, they should fit where they're not easily falling out.
I know I've got tiny pupils, but if I have tiny ear holes,
I mean, you might.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, All of those things are a possibility. So, but I've been listening, but I understand now why it's easier to listen to podcasts sometimes than it is to watch them on YouTube, because I can walk around and I can leave the phone, it doesn't have to be in my pocket.
Exactly.
I can set the phone in the garage and go do fig gardening, and I'm out there.
You can still hear it.
Yeah. And then when you text me, it pauses the podcast and says the words, and then I can
respond.
Or call, or whatever happens.
Yeah, that's great.
We also have our merch store, which I think, you know what? I think they have, don't they have earbud cases with our logo on them?
They do. That's what you need.
I wonder, would they fit the Apple AirPods? Because those are, I didn't know. Was it you who lost your AirPod case? Somebody I know lost their AirPod case, and they were all upset about it. I'm like, so what? I didn't know that that's how you power
Charge
the
them.
things. Yeah, the battery is in the case, and they recharge every time you put them in the case, and then you recharge the case to recharge the AirPods.
So I think the case that we have on the Frank and Friends website.
It's probably just generic.
No, it's actually a case for the case. It's a sleeve, basically. That way, so James and I both have AirPods.
I need a case for my case. I'm going to look this up.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you have all of these white little cases around the house, if you have multiple people in the house, and it's better. I put one on mine so that we could differentiate between his AirPod case and mine. Well, and then I gave him a little New Orleans Saints sticker for his. So now we know whose is whose just by saying it.
Until I buy my wife a AirPods, it's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I want to promote my own self to myself.
Correct.
Would that be under accessories, phone cases, probably?
Probably, yeah.
Or is it under...
No.
It must be under some other kind of stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, drinkware, homeware, apparel. Well, I know they're on there. I'll have to go back to the...
I have to go look.
Go back
but
where
you
I
can
was.
find all the merchandise at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
Here, AirPods Pro case.
See?
So this is a case for the case.
That is a case for the case.
That sounds like...
here's one for... that's the one you need.
AirPods case.
Yes.
Gen 1, 2?
Yeah. I assume that's the one you got.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So we have that on our store.
You can get it in any color.
Oh, it's even got a little hole so you can see that it's charging.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that great?
Okay. Well, anyway, that and the towel and all the things, frankandfriendsshow.com/store. Look at me. I don't have to go buy stuff now. All right. Actually, I need you to buy stuff so that I can use...
So we can get more batteries.
The small profit margin, and I will buy other things to display on the table. I'm going to get pint glasses. As soon as we sell enough stuff that I can afford to buy pint glasses, I'm going to get a set of those.
Some pint glasses.
Those are good.
Mm-hmm. So we can have cider while we have our conversations.
Oh, we had... You got me last night. I probably shouldn't have had that cider because I fell back asleep hard.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Missed a call from my daughter.
Oh.
And...
that's not good.
No. But the thing was, so I called her back a couple hours later, and you could tell I was calling it a bad time because Lucy is crying.
That's not good.
Not good. But they've also, Megan's maternity leave is up, so it's time to potty train Lucy. Because Lucy's now 2.
Right.
And 2 and 3 months, so she's got a potty train. So that Megan does a very, without getting gross about it, the kid wears a long T-shirt around the house and nothing else.
Okay.
And when you gotta go, you gotta go. And if there's an accident on the floor, well, that's part of the training process.
I see. Yeah.
But Megan's prepared for that.
Does she make the kids clean it up? Because that would train me faster.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I've called it an inopportune time. She was calling with an Artie question early this morning, at 8:30, and that was resolved. She and her husband figured out whatever it was. But now Lucy's crying. And she's like, I can't really talk right now. I said, okay, well, tell Lucy I love her. She said, well, Grandpa loves you. And all of a sudden it's like, Papa?
Aw, that's so sweet.
So now she wants to tell me, Lucy does, that she's sitting on the toilet waiting, hoping something will happen.
Amazing.
And all of a sudden it's switch the switch. I'm not going to make a scene in front of Grandpa.
Right, yeah, of course.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine, I'm
everything's
good.
Fine. Oh, okay, fine. She doesn't really talk much, but she kind of says words that we know to mean Grandma and Grandpa, and she's picking up other vocabulary.
Sure,
so
yeah.
It's all going to come flooding in. She'll be a chatty Kathy all of a sudden.
I wonder where she'll get that from.
The whole family.
Yeah.
You've seen Artie. You've met Artie.
Yes.
Artie doesn't stop talking.
He does not.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it,
We had some fun with him when he was here, and I've come up with a plan for him to visit next year during August instead of June.
Okay.
Because every year that he's visited, it's been like June, July. Because it's based on my wife's schedule at work. My wife works at a school.
She has that time off.
Yeah,
So it makes it easier.
A lighter schedule. She works year-round, but they only have shortened hours for the front office staff during June and July, and then August 1st they are back, cranked up, full speed. Teachers report August 1st, students report August 5th, I think, whenever it was, and they're off to the races.
Yeah.
So we generally don't want to have the kids visit in
During
August because it
time.
means it's 100% on Grandpa to take care of them.
Right.
But, Artie is going to be 9 next year.
Okay.
And he's getting tall. So I had this idea, two ideas. Number one, if he stayed home in Virginia during June and July, he can join the swim team and become a better swimmer.
That'd be nice.
And number two, he'll be taller even still by the time August gets around and the figs are ripe.
So he can get out there and do the
I
work
can put him on my shoulders, or I'm probably too big for that. But I'll just throw him. Well, no, he's probably too big for that. But he'll be tall. He'll be able to help me get the figs off the tree.
Or he can get the ones all down low.
Yeah, but bending. He can do the bending.
But you'll have free labor.
I can do the standing. He can do the bending.
That's right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put him to work. It'll be like and he can,
fantastic.
when he grows up, he can say, "When I was young, I had to go work my grandpa's fig farm. I was in the suburbs next to the
heat and the humidity.
Next to the garage.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah. But I've got exhaustion, so I thought I need help.
That's true.
I need to get Artie out there. My wife's apologizing to me. She says, "I'm sorry, I don't help you with the figs because she's tired from work." I said, "Stop it.
She didn't want the fig tree.
You're
Why does she have to help you? It was your idea.
Well, that's
saying.
true. But she's been experimenting with new recipes in the kitchen to make different types of fig preserves and doing the canning, which should be called jarring, but
Because it's in a jar and not a can.
But they call it canning, and even though the experience may be jarring.
Until you eat it, and it's delicious.
Would you like some more to take home, or take to Baton Rouge, or take to...
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a jar, because we still have 4 pints from last year.
Oh, fantastic.
So I got to make room in the closet for this year's haul.
I'll take some of that off your hands.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's today's fig report.
Well, what about the shirt? Is this...
Today we have a moment of silence for Cecil Edward Mannis, because today is day 10 of Dead Man's Shirt, and today, the 10th and final day of Dead Wardrobe.
I mean, you did real well.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
It's really nice.
I saved one of the best ones for last.
Yeah, he had some really nice shirts.
I've kind of been alternating the blue and the red, because I subconsciously didn't even realize it. I bought about roughly 4, maybe about half and half, blue and red shirts.
You probably got like a couple extra blue.
Probably. But I mean,
Because you like the way you look in blue with your eyes.
Also I'm buying a Dead Man's Shirt, so I got to, it's not like you
can't
can
be too choosy.
Right. So I got a yellow and a bunch of blues and a bunch of reds, and so I'm happy with it. So this is the final day of Dead Man's attire. I guess I can start working them back into the rotation.
That's good. Did you wear one of the Dead Man shirts to Tosca premiere?
Of course I did.
What was the yellow? Yes.
Yes, and I wore a Dead Man's Shirt to the Marble City Opera board meeting. I wore the red, the one that my friend Jeff Detrow described as a Bob Evans restaurant is missing its tablecloth.
Amazing.
Now, I almost feel bad because he slid that joke in so beautifully on the show, and I just acknowledged it, like, yep. But it's like, in morning radio, you almost expect your co-host to guffaw at everything you say, and I'm not that way.
Right.
If the joke is strong enough, that's it. It's fine. I thought it was hilarious. And that, to me, that's like in comedy.
You just leave it.
That's the comedy, yeah. That's the comedy. Move on. That's good.
Yep.
Don't try to top it. Don't try to stop the progress of the conversation.
Sure.
So it was a great joke.
That's awesome.
So thank you, Jeff.
That's awesome. Well, I think it's good that you wore yellow to the board meeting because it's gold, since Marble City Opera's colors are gold.
Oh, I wore yellow to the movie screening.
That's good too, because it was Marble City
I should
Opera.
get a black and gold shirt.
Black and gold, yeah.
The official colors of Marble City Opera and only Marble City Opera.
That's right. Do you ever wear black? I don't think I've ever seen you wear black. Well, your suits, maybe.
I have a black jacket, and I have black pants. They're technically not a suit. I think when you and I did a bit, we went to the Man Show, or we were. I think twice I've worn the black ensemble, which black or gray. We were going out to see Mephistopheles after we did an appearance together at the Man Show at Chilhowie Park, and then we were doing the Pink Floyd tribute band, Brit Floyd, doing the pledge drive on East Tennessee PBS. I thought it was more rock and roll to wear like my gunmetal-ish black and white shirt and black tie and black jacket.
That's right.
I don't know. I watched.
You're more of a color kind of person.
I watched it. It didn't look like didn't look that good.
Color works for you really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, I guess.
But mentioning all those things that we've done together, I realized at the Tosca premiere that was really our first like on camera. I guess we had done the behind the scenes.
We've done a couple of behind the scenes, and I interviewed you on the pod. But that was a thing where it wasn't. We're on equal footing. Sometimes if I'm hosting a show and I'm inviting you on to be the guest, I'm the one who will control the show and say, "Welcome. This is Kathryn. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to talk, and then I'm going to say, okay, that's the end." It's a different balance, dynamic.
Yeah.
Here, we talk about this in improv all the time. It's called a status change, and it makes the scene more interesting if the people are of two different status in the show, and sometimes during the scene you can switch status, and that's a fun comedic twist.
Right.
And it's not always the obvious. It's not like always doctor-patient. Sometimes in that scenario, the patient has a higher status than the doctor, which makes for comedy. But that's a thing you're aware of in the scene, is don't come in to a comedy scene and both be doing the same thing.
Right.
But that's a scenario where we're introducing Tosca, and we're here. It's the two of us, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I took a picture of us on the big screen.
Oh, did you?
I don't know if you took any photos while we were there, but I did. I got this cute little photo of us while we're on the big screen.
Oh, nice. Well, please send that to me, and I'll put it on the screen for y'all to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I remembered I have a photo to show you too.
You do?
It's back to the fig topic, so you might not be interested.
I'm so interested in the figs.
Well, remember,
I don't have fig exhaustion. It's just you.
Remember, I told you that Kristen and Jeff were here.
Yeah.
I've been talking about Jeff Detrow multiple times. The one with the Bob Evans joke. Well, I gave them a fig plant.
Cute.
And so they planted it in their yard, and I wrote back, "My grand fig." So
love it.
And I thought that was sweet because
sweet.
It looks so nice. They made it look so pretty. So now I've got 2 grand figs because I planted one at next door neighbor Ted's house for him, and obviously I've given one to Jeff and Kristen. They took it down to Maryville, and it's still alive.
Nice.
So I'm thinking I should do more of that. I got to prune the tree back really hard this coming winter, so I can have lots of
grand figs around the city. Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it. Yeah. Do you want to sell them? I'm always coming up with these businesses.
No. Other people do. That's what I'm thinking. Is if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you buy a fairly sickly-looking brown turkey seedling or twigling or whatever it is cutting,
right?
It's like $15 to $30.
Crazy.
I could sell healthy ones for a fraction of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or 5.
Yeah, just to move them out.
Yeah.
I have to cover my costs of the dirt and the cups. I bought some cups and dirt and flower pots and things.
That's good. You can start like a lemonade stand, but for figs outside. Or you could put it on the porch. I'm going to come up with some good ideas for you. I'll create a marketing plan. I'll send it over.
Well, my friend Heather, who is the one who introduced me to figs 10 years ago, so it's all her fault, was telling me that she used to go get blueberries or blackberries, I guess blackberries, at a neighbor's house.
Okay.
And it was honor system. They would put out little containers of blackberries, and it was a jar. You'd put your money in the jar. You'd take a container of blackberries.
Exactly.
Totally on the honor system. So she goes over there to stock up, and the sign says, "Out of business. The birds beat you to it." The birds ate all the berries that year, and they had nothing to sell left.
I love it.
So I understand that pain.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would want to leave. If I leave jars, bottles, containers, baskets of figs out on the front porch, I think the birds would figure that out pretty quick.
Definitely. And then the bag. You could bag them like you do, but
yeah. Anyway,
that'd be expensive with the bags.
So I can sell figs. What you're trying to tell me? That could be my next side hustle.
Yes. And then the fig jam, Frank's Figs.
Did I tell you that someone tried to get me to volunteer for another nonprofit?
What?
Well, I mean, not another, let me rephrase that. I've done this before in my life. I've been on the boards of nonprofits. Was the president of the FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association and
should
the
be careful,
Front Page Foundation. Because I opened my big mouth and I spoke up at a meeting, and that got me made president. And
well, especially if you're announcing all of your board experience and the times that you've been the president on a board. But I mean, you don't mind people like flattering you and saying, Frank, you're fantastic at this. We need you to do it for us.
Yes, that's the problem. That's my soft spot. Is I have a hard time saying no. But they wanted me to be on the committee for dear sweet Beth Haynes and her 12 Days of Christmas. Lining up silent auction items and donations.
Okay.
And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? And then another organization wanted me to be an officer on the board, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And I realized that when I had a salaried job, I had the time. I mean, the salary, especially in radio, they're like, "Hey, what boards are you on?"
Right. They want you to be a part of that.
What's your community involvement?
Right.
And I'm like, "What do you care?" I'm like, "No, we got to file a report with the FCC every quarter.
Right.
And if you do something in the community, we can put that on the FCC report, and it helps us as broadcasters." Mm-hmm. So I was encouraged to do these other things.
Sure.
To the point where they let me use the conference room for the meetings.
Nice.
We had office, we had everything. We had whatever I needed. If I needed them they made donations to the silent auction. They they allowed me to use the copier to print off the agenda.
That's great.
Literally, it's 12 pieces of paper, so it's not that big of a deal. But
it's nice. Yeah. It's convenient.
Right. But that was supportive. So now that I don't have that, I don't have a salary job, and I'm Mr. Gig. If you're going to ask me to help with a high school improv team, or you're going to ask me to do some other thing,
it takes your time away from doing the thing that you're trying to do to make money.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're
hard.
You have to pay me now to do all these things.
Yeah, that's hard.
Like MC a charity event. I'm like, oh.
I know.
Actually, I'm going to MC
yours. You are
emceeing
ours, right? Yeah.
I know. For free. But I'm on your board.
You are on our board.
That's enough, right? Isn't being on one board enough? When's my term up?
It's not ever up. Yeah.
I need to get...
it's Marble City Opera board member for life.
No, I don't think...
We're redoing the bylaws, so that's
I
what it
swear,
says.
Kathryn,
Frank Murphy.
I swear when
term for life.
Well, that's certainly one way to shorten my term, because I'll die.
Yeah, I'd rather die.
I'll die. I mean,
that'd be a good opportunity.
I said that to my wife the other night. We were talking about the same topic. I said, I don't have a salary job. I'm trying to struggle and make doing all the gigs. I make a few $100s on each of these different gigs. And I said to her, if I just drop dead, the life insurance is worth more. And she told me, call me George Bailey.
Oh.
She said, knock it off, George Bailey.
That's great.
I'm worth more dead than alive.
Well.
I mean, it may be true, but I don't have to be sad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can be happy about your fabulous events in Middleburg, Virginia, at the Middleburg Barn. Visit my friend Maureen and go to themiddleburgbarn.com to see the fabulous Gucci barn.
It's so beautiful.
Crystals.
The Swarovski crystals. I can't even see it.
The HVAC with the ultraviolet rays. Cleaning the air.
It really does look like a beautiful venue.
It is. I've obviously, Maureen's a friend of mine, going back to the 1980s.
I won't tell.
Yeah, but she built this place 5 years ago, 2017, so I can only say that for a little bit longer, with the old style techniques of no nails and the whole barn fits together. Mm-hmm. You can deck it out as you see fit. It's made for classy events. It's got, the place for your caterer to show up, the place for your party rental people to show up and set your tables and chairs and do all the things. So however you want it, whether you want 400 people or whether you want 100 people, the space is flexible to accommodate all of that.
Has doors that open up so you can have the beautiful
mountains.
Scenery.
Oh.
You've got the house that you can even stay in or
the
overnight, the cottage.
On the property.
So if you have like a wedding party and they want to get ready in the cottage before everyone sees them.
When you click on weddings at themiddleburgbarn.com, they have people with a horse. So I don't know whose horse it is. It might be Maureen's horse. She has a few. That came by. So you guess if you want a horse at your wedding, well then
maybe
that's
you
possible.
can ride in on a horse to your wedding.
Well, if you know how.
Right?
I mean, yeah you could probably arrange that. I mean, If you get one of those jumpy horses, though, be careful.
Yeah. Maybe let the groom do it.
You and your bridle gown.
Yeah.
In your helmet. And the horse is doing steeplechase to get you to your wedding.
I've got a good idea. 2 good ideas. Okay. Here's your wedding planner for you.
Okay.
You can have the bride show up to the altar first.
Yes.
And have your knight in shining armor ride in on the horse.
A trusty steed.
Yes. Or if you aren't certain that you want to go through with it, you can have the horse on standby so that if you want to run
and get
from
away.
The wedding, you just hop on the horse and take
That
off.
would be, imagine this is a movie, The Runaway Bride, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that, you gallop off.
Yes.
Oh,
that's a great escape.
That's a fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the swans, Fred and Ginger.
Okay.
The hissy swans, they're mean, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to touch the swans. You're just going to have them do their beautiful swan swimming in the pond in front of the barn.
That's nice.
For pictures and whatnot.
It's beautiful.
Or just atmosphere, so your guests will come and go, look at the beautiful swans, oh, love.
Yeah.
And you don't have to know that they're mean.
All swans are mean.
Yeah. I think that's why it's pretty safe. I'm not like I'm prejudiced against any particular swan.
No, it's not these swans specifically. Just to be clear.
I guess I am prejudiced against all swans. They're all terrible. So themiddleburgbarn.com. Call Maureen. The number is 540-687-5255. Maureen. So go ahead.
Oh, no.
She's another one of my lady friends, my female friends.
I know.
When Avi was here, she was telling me about some personality test, and she's asking me if I ever took it. I don't even know what she was talking about.
Myers-Briggs or Enneagram or...
She mentioned both of those, but there's yet more.
Sure.
And she found the one that resonated the most with her. But it said that was odd because she comes off as less emotional and more intellectual, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good for her, and she says maybe that's why most of her friends are guys.
Right.
And the men she dates sometimes have a little odd
reaction to it.
That all of her close friends are guys. And I've been friends with her for going on 20 years, so I thought, and then I thought about it and thought my closest friends are all women.
I know. I was glad to see that you actually had some male friends who've been on the show. They're not friends. You just it's the Frank and Friends show, so you should claim them as friends.
Oh yeah, we had you had been bugging me to have Tim Coleman. Which, of course, he talked for an hour. I couldn't shut him up. The episode went on. I should have found a way to break the episode in half, but he came in to talk about a play that he was in that was opening that week. And when are we going to, and we do all this backstory, a half hour of fantastic, amazing theater backstory of how he got involved in theater and Sweet Fanny Adams. And I'm hanging on every word. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the clock thinking, when are you going to get to the play?
Next week.
I'm trying, but that would be too late, right? So I had to put it out as a full hour episode.
Yeah.
And then I put that out, and I get a call from Frank Rosamund, who's also in the play, and he's telling me, I'd love to be on your show. So I took it as Tim didn't promote the play enough, so I invited Frank Rosamund to come on. And I only know Frank in passing. We sat together at a charity event, and I guess we run into each other because now he's chairman of the Knoxville Opera Board.
Yes.
Right. So we've seen him at operas. And we've chatted. We've said hi.
Yeah.
Well,
nice guy.
And he and I are similar. We have a lot in common. It turns out.
That's fun.
So
your names are both Frank.
Naturally.
Starting there.
So he comes in and I say, "You're here to promote the Bright Star, right?" He's like, "No, Tim already did that." I thought,
I'm here to talk to you.
I thought you were dissatisfied with Tim's promotion of Bright Star, so you came in to clean up the mess. He's like, no, we can talk about whatever you want.
Came to chat, be on the show.
You legitimately wanted to be on the show.
Well, a lot of people do.
Much like Jody Collins, who'll be on the next episode.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to film with him, we're 3 days after we're filming this. So
okay, I was going to ask, are you going to have to raise the camera?
Yes. I don't know.
He's quite tall.
His name of his company is Feral Giant.
I know.
Do you know him well?
I know him in passing. He's done some marketing for Marble City Opera, and he's come to some of our shows, and he's good friends with Brandon Gibson.
Well, that helps a lot. That gives me something to go with. Now, I will have an icebreaker because I'll go be on his Ramblin podcast first. We're going to record that on a Sunday, and then he's going to come here, and we're going to record on a Monday.
Nice.
So I'm glad that I'm second in terms of podcasts. I'll have all these other new things to talk to him about and all these new ideas. But he was introduced to me through Hutch and Howard Real Estate. He said, you need a logo. He's the guy. It's the most beautiful. I love it so much. So we'll come in. We'll talk about. He's
very talented.
All the things. He's interesting. He loves Oreos. I'm going to ask about that.
Oh, okay.
And other junk food. He likes all the same junk food I do.
So that's a great place to start. Just talk about all the junk food that you like.
Wait, it'll still be fig season. He's 9 feet tall.
There you go.
Well,
you can have him help you with the figs.
How tall do you think he really is? He's got to be like 6'5", 6'9".
Oh, at least, because my older brother is 6'6", and I think that Jody is a little taller.
Like 6'7", 6'8". So
6'8".
he's like Bean is that tall, my friend Bean. So, all right. So I'll get Jody out there to pick some high figs.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the help.
You might want to warn him that you're going to put him to work after.
Oh, because it's hot?
Yeah,
Well, speaking of Bean, he thinks I should do a spin-off podcast on the topic of figs.
I mean, again, Frank's figs.
I think Bean might think that so that I'll stop talking about figs on this show.
Right. He's like, I don't want to listen to your stories about figs. Have your own fig podcast over here so that people who like figs can listen to figs and talk about things that are other than figs on the Frank and Friends show. Otherwise, it's the Frank and Fig show.
It's a small window of ripeness.
I mean,
that could be the title for this episode: a small window of ripeness.
Those figs are delicious. I mean,
I've got more. We can go out to the tree and pick some anytime you want.
I don't even ever buy figs. I've never actually. I don't think I'd had a fig before I met you.
That makes sense. They're very hard to find in stores in this area. Publix will have them, and that's really maybe. I'm sure some of the other high-end, expensive stores, Fresh Market or Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, yeah, they might.
And is there another one? Well, it used to be Earth Fare.
Sprouts or I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, they probably do, but I don't go to those stores at all. They're not close by. They're expensive, so I generally don't go there. And Publix is too far from me. It's near where you live.
Right.
So you could go check out the Publix and buy a thing of figs and be amazed at how expensive they are.
Or I could just come over here and
hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in the Hamptons, it's easy to buy figs.
Oh well, that's because you're in the Hamptons.
They have them practically everywhere.
Everywhere
They have just trays of figs.
Oh yes, they're not even expensive in the Hamptons.
No, they're
has nothing to do with the Hamptons and everybody having money, but they're just inexpensive here.
No, they're not cheap. They're more expensive. Surprise, surprise. Huh. But I'm saying that's one place where I've gone. I've gone into a deli to get an egg sandwich.
And they had figs? That's pretty fancy. Okay. I don't know about all that. I'm sure you could get them in England because, figgy pudding, right?
Yeah. I mean, people love figs in England. I don't know how easy they are to grow there.
Yeah, I don't know
but,
where they would import them from.
Well, I mean, they're close to the Mediterranean. That's where figs...
So they have Mediterranean figs. I bet they're even better in London.
Yeah, Mediterranean figs are that's the gold standard. I mean, that's what you want, That's where they're from. Israel and Spain and Greece and I know people who lived in Greece when they were kids, like, oh yeah, we used to climb the fig tree and
oh nice, yeah.
I mean that's where they're
real. Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, in here you have to get figs that are bred to not die over the winter.
Right.
So I think you sacrifice a little bit of the flavor just to keep the tree alive.
Sure, but these are very flavorful. How do you say that? Flavorful?
That's a good tongue twister. Frank's Flavorful Figs. Hi, everyone. I'm Frank of Frank's Flavorful Figs. They're lots of fun to fling and eat.
Nice.
Whatever you're going to do with them. Anything else, Frady, before you take off and leave me again?
I don't think I have too much. That was pretty much it. I do have to say that working remotely in all of the locations has been pretty fun. I'm back on Zoom all the time, so
Zoom blows us. Zoom.
It's fantastic. I mean, it allows me to be everywhere all the time, which is kind of great.
I mean,
except when there's like a storm or something, and I end up on my phone or
I'm going to say that if you're the person who knows how to work Zoom, you. If you're the person who doesn't understand what you're coming across like on the other end.
Sure.
It's like you walked away from the thing and you're still talking. Like, what? Come back. Or, you've muted your mic and your mouth is moving and we can't hear you.
Or you have something going on really, really loud in the background.
That's annoying too.
Yeah, or you leave your mic on when, yeah, I know. There's all those things.
I'm not a fan of I don't know, I don't love the Zoom, but I guess it's, maybe on the other hand, I've been contacted by these companies that offer like remote video podcasting, so it costs money though, but set it up so that it's easier to do a 2-person podcast, a video podcast with someone in a distant location.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Because the technology, basically they said, this is what makes us better than Zoom. And it makes all sense to me as a media person. And well, of course, they're recording the files in 2 separate locations and merging them together. That's how you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should look into that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we need to get to $1,000. We need to get 1,000 subscribers.
Help us out. Go to the YouTubes, youtube.com/Frank and Friends Show. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell for notifications.
Smash that button.
Which would be fantastic. We appreciate that to get to us 1,000. You can also listen on any of the audio podcast apps, including Audible. And if you go to audibletrial.com/Frank and Friends Show, you can get a free 30-day Premier membership, the Premium membership.
The Premium, which allows you to download 1 item for free.
Yeah, you get an MP3 download credit every month as a Premium member, so take advantage of it during your free 30-day trial. Get something good, nice and long, listen to it in your AirPods so they don't pop out of your head.
That's right, don't let them fall in the pool.
Yeah, enjoy listening while you walk around and do stuff, and it saves your place when you pause, even if you switch devices. So if you listen like on the iPad in the house, but on the phone on the road, blah, 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 whatever it is, I listen on the Amazon Alexa a lot.
Nice.
So it doesn't matter. I got an iPhone and an Amazon Alexa.
It's all connected.
They should hate each other. But no, Amazon, Audible is the great peacemaker.
Fantastic.
We are the world.
Connecting us all together.
This reminds me of Hands Across America. You wouldn't even know what that is. Happened in 1984.
I was very young.
Yeah. That's a good story, though. I'll put that in my book. We are the world. So audibletrial.com/Frank and Friends Show to experience that. The short version of it is they wanted to do a linking from coast to coast. They wanted to have people across the entire country holding hands.
That would be really cool.
I think they kind of did it.
Really?
They had to bus people into the West.
Right.
But where I was in Washington, D.C., they had more than enough people. There's people like this. Instead of like this. So Bean, my friend Bean, we've known each other since 1984, or maybe it was 85, whenever it was. They said we were going to broadcast live from Hands Across America.
Okay.
So they put us at the top of the Washington Monument so that we could get a perspective, which radio. They put us up at the top of the Washington Monument with all the other local TV and network TV shows. And we had to get a security clearance because they took off the windows.
Oh, wow. And they didn't want anyone to jump.
Well, actually, no. It's the window that we're at is if you were we had to get a background clearance to make sure that we didn't hurl any projectiles at the White House because you're looking. I mean, you're right there. Yeah, you're looking directly in the window of the White House. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's there's a street, Constitution Avenue is between you, but you're 555 feet up, and it's.
Yeah.
And then in the other direction, it's the Lincoln Memorial, and in the other direction, it's the U.S. Capitol.
What a great
And in the other
point.
direction, it's Southeast D.C. or something.
Nice.
So it was really cool to be up there, and with the wind crisscrossing on a Memorial Day weekend, and we're looking down, doing a live broadcast about these people holding hands.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, so that's my Hands Across America stories. Now you don't have to read the book.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just listen to it on the Audible. I can't speak today.
Audibletrial.com.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's everything. Merch store. Did I do merch store? AirPod cases. We talked about those. We talked about the plush towel. How you can see the colors all the way through. It's very fancy.
Mugs,
Got
cell
the
phone
iPhone
cases.
case. We just got to hurry through it.
Pint glasses.
Jody
all the
Collins.
things.
Words. Frank and Friends
Show.com/store. We're doing real well right now.
Well, you've got to go. You've got to go to Baton Rouge, and I'm trying to squeeze in everything before you walk out the door, because I'm not going to see you again for months. So I'm trying to squeeze it all in, Frady.
Oh.
Trying to squeeze it all in.
I know. Well, next time I'm in town, we can sit down again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I need to get one of my Ludens, though, because I've been talking a lot today.
What is this with your licorice Ludens?
I ran out of cherry Ludens, so I need to get the big bag of 90 of them because it's nice. I'm like the grandpa who always has a Ludens in his pocket. Oh wait, who always
Frank.
has a Ludens.
With his licorice Ludens.
I do. Oh, this is the last cherry one. Look how old it looks. It was in my pocket. I better save it because at church and stuff, I'll give people Ludens if they start coughing. I've talked about this.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking they're expecting a nice sweet cherry Ludens. If I hit them with the licorice Ludens, they're gonna be like, what?
It's gonna make it worse. They start choking. Yeah.
What have you done to me?
Yeah.
You heinous person, you.
In church of all places.
For the next couple of weeks, don't ask me for a Ludens. Don't cough near me because I might end up giving you the licorice Ludens, and it's a bad surprise. I like them. Everyone else I know hates them.
Interesting.
Do you like licorice?
I mean,
I'll give you one. They're over there. They're out of reach. Or do I have one?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll try it.
Okay. It is the Frank and Friends show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And I'll talk to you again next time. I don't know about you.
I'll be there someday. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye.